I said to you, one of the things that I wanted to do was make sure that people feel that they're included in this channel and its content. When you have a channel that's in its infancy and a lot smaller, one of the things you're able to do is respond to everybody in a timely fashion and like and comment and all the rest of it. And then as those numbers grow, it becomes a bit of an impossible task. And I regret that some of the things that I see go by, I'm not able to sit down and go like and comment. So I thought what I'd do is do a video once a week and address some of your comments on a particular video that you've left to make you feel included and make you feel that your contributions are valuable. So let's begin. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing alright. Let me know how you are in the comments below and that you're okay and everything's, tickety-boo where you are. Well, yes, this thing about comments, I have a scan of the comments every day and reply to the odd one or two here and there, but it's evident that not everybody gets a fair crack of the whip, so I wanted to try and do something about that. And the video that I'm looking at particularly is the one that I did on the person that I know who had the problem with his GP surgery, and it provoked an awful lot of reaction. There was something like 30,000 views and something like 300 comments. And what I wanted to do was just go through and pick out some of them just to address some of your concerns. The people that I name, I'll just call you by your first name, and you'll know that I'm referring to you, hopefully. So let's start. Doreen says, this is now the normal practice of GPs in the UK. Moved to another area and needed urgent surgery. The local health authority refused to send over my medical records. A member of staff told me to move back to the other area. Oh, okay. I wonder, Doreen, when you moved, did you buy your new place or was it to a new rental? But apparently it's okay, you can just chop and change properties to suit them, is that right? Jumped through hoops to get a family member mental health plan activated. Took weeks of calls to the GP and other local teams. The NHS are in bits. They are indeed, Doreen, aren't they? You've got this thing where they're all talking about going out on strike. I think it's been in its death rolls for years. This current model doesn't work, hasn't done for a while, and I think we're getting overpopulated through, for various other reasons, and it's under strain. But the fact that you've been treated like that is disgusting. Where are the days where you could get a doctor, you could get, are we all supposed to go private? What's that about? And I hope you got sorted, and as in my friend's case that I know, he got sorted purely by sheer determination and not giving up, and I think that's what it's about. I even threaten them with the press. Sheila, each and every NHS GP receives £155 per registered patient per year on their books. They've done quite well out of us over the past few years, haven't they? And there's a load of comments where, people are saying they've been bunged a few quid for other things as well without saying it. Absolutely right. It's money that makes the world go round, isn't it? And you can actually see on some GPs' websites how much GPs are earning at that particular surgery. It's a matter of public information. And there's one place locally I know of, certain consultant GPs they pull in to do the job, they're getting £109,000 a year. I think we're all in the wrong job, don't you? George says, what's happened is the number of patients with that doctor has risen hugely because of all the illegals housed in hotels in the area, and now they have to be more strict about the borderlines. Tough on your pal, but these poor souls have to be given preference. using all of our tax money, of course. Well, funny enough, when I spoke to the person I know, that's exactly how he felt. He felt he'd been sidelined because of then. I mean, I find with my own doctor now, I don't have need to call them very often, apart from if I need a repeat prescription for my tablets. You're on hold for ages. And if you don't ring before a certain point, all the appointments are gone, aren't they? Or, you know, something worse. Jim says, many years ago when I was a taxi driver like yourself, we would take our local surgery staff on their Christmas outing. I used to fill up the minibus and say it was a pleasure to take them, as it's the only time of the year I get to see my own bloody doctor. It seems it's not funny anymore. It's not a joke, is it, Jim? I used to get regular runs between two local hospitals, taking paperwork and samples and stuff. I never took customers out on the piss from hospitals, that's for sure. But yeah, I expect that was a good crack, especially a load of drunk nerds. We won't go there. Rye 491. Healthcare? There simply isn't any, Andy. My wife lost her life recently because she couldn't get appointments. Her cancer was undiagnosed until far too late. I will never forget or forgive to think we were all told to clap in the streets for the NHS. Sick. I'm so sorry for your loss. So many times, isn't there? You hear this all over. Somebody didn't get an appointment when they should have done. An appointment's been delayed, cancelled, and fast progressing illnesses and conditions. My friend who I told you all about not so long ago, cancer took him within about 6 months. I saw firsthand how that can act, and it's awful. It really is awful, and nothing can replace them. And you wish for a time machine and a miracle cure, don't you? But what will that do? I'm so sorry, and I'm glad that you can come here and speak about it. And you know, looking at the comments underneath where you've put it, you've got the support as well. So you know, we're here. I don't know what else to say. Awful situation. Awful. Straffen says, 5 years ago I moved house, but only half a mile from where I was previously. I informed my surgery of the change of address, and they also said that I was now out of that catchment area, had to register somewhere else. Half a mile. After I got on the phone and explained that the next nearest surgery was actually further away than they were, they capitulated and kept me on their books in the end. Again, it's an example of digging your heels in, isn't it? And saying, hang on a minute. You know, I wonder with this, does a computer say yes, or does something else? Who knows? Greg Dobson. Andy, this has been going on for years. I had the same experience 16 years ago. My GP failed to diagnose my heart problem, and I was disgusted to find it hard to get appointments when I needed one. I actually complained to my MP and was attacked by my doctor and told I was not happy, I should go to a new doctor. I tried to sign up with another local surgery which was run by a friend's father. However, he explained to me that I could not join them as a decision had been made not to accept any new patients who were already registered with a local surgery. So what are you supposed to do? Quit one and go to the other? Take the risk? I mean, it's like my mate who's got long-term medical conditions. That's what worried him. He went on to explain the reason. He said surgeries are trying to get rid of their sickest patients because they cost more to look after. Now we're getting to the crux of it. Basically, sick people eat into their profits. He went on to say that doctors don't want sick people on their books because they cost money to look after. He added they prefer the young fit people that go to the gym and are rarely ill. This was all back in 2006, and I had to move due to rent increases from my greedy landlord. I moved about 2 miles up the road And when I gave my new address to my doctor, I got exactly the same letter as your friend. I was told they did not cover my new address and I should find another surgery. Well, I rang the NHS and told them that I just moved into the area and asked for a list of surgeries I could register with. You guessed it, both my old surgery and the surgery that my friend's father ran were on the list. I checked this out and explained that they had already turned me down. Are you sure I can sign up with them? The answer was yes. However, I was advised not to mention that I was already registered with a local doctor. So I went down to my friend's father's surgery, told them that I moved into the area. The NHS had given me their name. I was booked in for an introductory appointment and ended up being signed up with them. I've been with my current surgery since 2006 and they've been great. This is what healthcare has become in the UK. Profits come over people. There's a lot of people like you saying that, you know, and based on very bitter personal experience as well. Very, very bitter. And it can also easily be sorted out. The only thing I had with this some time ago, or several years ago, was I had the same doctor for years. And I moved out of the area for a couple of years and then moved back. I couldn't get to see my old doctor again because I all of a sudden lived outside the Catchment area and had to register somewhere else. But that's, I think, a matter of procedure. The auditor, given the length of time the gentleman had been serviced by the GP, he had an implied contract with them. A legal professional should really comment on this latest abomination. Perhaps you have one on your channel, Andy. And well, the black belt barrister was actually suggested by somebody else. Yeah, it's almost like an implied contract of service, isn't it? Angela, a few years ago the exact same thing happened to me. I received a letter, the exact same circumstances. It was very upsetting. I wrote a letter and asked for an explanation. When I received the letter, still was not satisfied, so I informed them of this. I then told them that I wanted a meeting with the doctors. They were reluctant at first and they agreed. I had heard that they thought I would not turn up. Well, I did. Good for you. Along with my solicitor, and we walked into the room and saw us. They looked very uncomfortable. After the 2-hour meeting, they backed down and said I could stay with the practice, but while I was in the meeting, I decided I no longer wanted to stay with them, and I told them. Good for you again. The following week, I enrolled at another doctor's practice and never looked back. I realised this was around the time I'd been in hospital and had a stroke, and I was undergoing numerous tests, and I did remember a certain doctor saying to me during a visit, I may have to look for another practice. That was the first time it was ever mentioned. So in reality, it was all down to this one doctor that did this. So the answer to that, Andy, is he probably is on a bit of medication and may have to go for checkups regularly. Put it this way, if the man was young, never would have happened. I made sure I put them all, though, through the mill, and by the time the meeting finished, they were rather embarrassed. Well, reading those comments, it appears this sort of thing's been going on for years, and varying experiences there and varying reactions to it. It's disgusting, and it's just an example. This thing just isn't working right, is it? Hasn't done for a great number of years, and I personally think we're piling down at the seams, but there you go. Anyway, there you go, folks. There's a little handful of comments for you off one of the videos. That's what I'm going to try and do at least once a week, have a little session and just you know, give you a little bit of feedback and hear your views so everyone else can hear them as well. I hope that's all right. Give me some feedback, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Toodaloo.